Hey, look, I've learned a lot from, throughout my career, I've learned a lot by just talking to people and, asking them how they got to the position they were in, what did their journey look like, um, key decision points along the way that landed you, your VP of security engineering at Hashi. It's an awesome role at a great company, very cloud forward, and obviously you've done a lot in the cloud. But yeah, I'd love to just. You've been at Hashi now, what, going on 5 years?
Yep.
Could you just let's talk HashiCorp first? Like, how does 5 years is a good amount of time now. A lot of people jump around, but you've been able to work your way up through that organization and be pretty impactful. So, how has that journey gone for you?
Yeah, it's been amazing. I think back 5 years has come and gone so quickly. And I attribute that to the type of work that we work in, the type of people that we have at the company. My boss, Tala, great person, couldn't ask for a better boss. Supportive, lets you just kind of do things. You know, comes in when he needs to course correct, but been a huge champion of mine since day one. I remember when I was, before HashiCorp, I was at Capital One for a brief bit, and I was, pinging Tall as he's building out the organization at HashiCorp, actually looking for just some contract work. Like, hey, would love to keep my tech chops up. If you have anything for me, let me know. And he kept saying, well, let me build this team out a little bit so you have someone to work with. But meanwhile, why don't you just come work here? Right. And he's kind of teasing some ideas on roles that he had. And, I think after like the third or fourth time of us just chatting and me understanding what he was trying to build over there, I made the jump. But I've always been a fan of HashiCorp since I moved to the Bay Area and started using the tooling. And so it's kind of one of the inevitable things I always said of like, one day I would love to work for HashiCorp. I spoke at HashiConf Europe in 2016. I was fortunate enough to go to Amsterdam and meet Armand and Mitchell and Jack and a bunch of the early day HashiCorp folks. I think it was like 50 or 60 people at the time. Fast forward to 2019, joining, around 600 or so. It was really cool to see a bunch of the folks that I met in Amsterdam, if not all of them, still with the company. Day one, Mitchell reached out to me, welcomed me to the company, and I knew from that moment I'm home. Right, it just felt right for a founder to reach out and welcome you and remember our interaction, both in Amsterdam and another interaction that we had between then was really special to me. And then the opportunities that I've been afforded at HashiCorp have been some that I'll be appreciative for the rest of my career. I joined to run threat detection for Talha. Company pivoting to a cloud platform, needing cloud security between Jamie Finnegan and myself as two of the primary leaders under Tala. I think coming from a cloud security team at Netflix as kind of the de facto owner and started building out that area, and that like grew my first team outside of threat detection. And you know I joke that I've been just building my area or my own org since, but I've just always been interested in solving problems, not one to shy down from identifying a problem and stepping up and owning it versus just waiting for someone else to come along. And I attribute that to much of my success here at HashiCorp. Also to a lot of the pain, and sorry for if any of my team is listening, to them having to own a bunch of stuff that we probably shouldn't. But I felt it important for the company and the stage that we were in to mature in certain areas and not seeing anyone do it stepped in. But when I look back at promotion packets and stuff, things, much of those decisions that I made were the supporting points to the next step in my career. So fast forward to today, started as a director, now VP, learning to operate at a new level and further step back. It's been fun and difficult, but it's been one of the best rewarding stints of my career. Outside of like, I think I always attribute my success in even just me knowing y'all is my time at Netflix under Jason. Um, but yeah, it was probably the best opportunity that I could have come across because joined as a director, but still able to be super hands-on and step away over time, where I was able to like slowly do it versus step in and be told not to code at all.
Mhm.
Probably would have had the opposite effect on me, and I probably would have been looking to do something different. But so I've been able to kind of like over time get used to the idea of not committing software. And I think if you look at my GitHub stats, you can tell I'm fully transitioned into the VP world.